In times when we don't know, let this be our prayer. When we lose our way, lead us to a place, guide us with your grace. To a place where we'll be safe. La luce che tu dai, I pray we'll find your light nel cuore stellare, and hold it in our heart. Ricordarci when stars go by each night, l'eterna stella sei.
Good morning, everybody. What a beautiful, elegant start to our tribute to Greg. A big welcome to all those on our streaming service. You are here as much as if you were here physically. You are most welcome. And for everybody else here gathered today, welcome. Thank you for being here. We gather to mourn the passing of Greg Glerum. We gather to say our final farewells. And we gather to pay tribute to Greg's life of only 71 years, and most of us here, it's just too soon. It is simply too soon. There really could have been many, many more years with Greg to gather memories and gather experiences and simply to have him as part of our lives. That's the reality. But we will discover today This man, I believe, Greg Glerum, lived his life to the full. Yes? Shortened as it has been, but lived his life to the full. He's been a husband for 33 years to Cherry. He's been a dad, he's been a mate, he's been a plumber, he's been a chef, he's been a muso, he's been a business owner, and he's been a poodle wrangler. I wrote that myself. No, well, I thought, hang on, poodle wrangler, it doesn't, the words don't fit. The poodles wrangled Greg. That's how they work, that's how they work. Bright red shoes. Now, would we expect anything else? I was going to wear my bright red shoes today, but I didn't. Decorum prevails. With bright red shoes, and there's a pair of stingray skin cowdy boots. Now, any bloke who will wear a pair of stingray skin cowdy boots is fairly out there. Not just to add the red shoes, the red Nikes. I wonder how the stingray felt. I'm glad you're all here because this fella said, no bastard's going to turn up, but you did. Now you can take that two ways as well, but no, you all turned up to honour this bloke, and I thank you all. He was a mentor, he was a second dad. And you know, if you look at the back of your card, Greg is thanking us for being part of his life. He was very cheeky, he was never morbid. Last thing, he was a charismatic personality and he drew people to him, and his instructions for his demise were, I don't want a big expensive coffin. So there you go. And you know, one of the first things that Cherry said to me was the combination. There's three things that figured huge in Greg and Cherry's life. They live in Tambo Avenue. Greg was in Tambo Ward, and his choice, a Tambo coffin. You never know just how the universe is going to unwind. I made a big note here. I said, the signs are there for us to grab. He was an absolute joker. In fact, it was an addiction, I've been told. Very inappropriate. He was a mad, keen, yes, I'll say passionate, car modeller. I think 600 was the number. More chasing, just going like this. And it's a jolly sight easier and cheaper than the real things. You haven't got to find garages for them. Although Cherry may have a different view of Greg's modelling with the big F40 Ferrari that's taken shape over. It's a couple of years, Cherry, I reckon. You've got to gather the parts, and it becomes a fairly major and expensive exercise, because I reckon finished it'll be about that. About that. It's like catching a fish.
10 kilos.
How many? 10 kilos of model Ferrari. The last mob of parts for it, sadly for a moment, are going to come next month. And I reckon that is such a sadness and such a pity, because that close to seeing it finished. Oh, and I want you, I've seen a couple of photos, Chase. What you said was just brilliant, thank you. One of them shows, and I hope it's in our photo presentation later, one of them shows Greg sitting astride a motorbike in a double denim outfit. A denim vest and the most wonderful pair of denim flares. God, we knew how to dress. Kids today don't know how to dress. I want to share one of Greg's stories before we begin our reading. It's about Greg and Cherry's wedding day, and if I take your thunder, it's what you've given me, so I'm going to steal it. Greg's words, I met Cherry and Christopher in 1991, and I had a son, Chase, in June 1992. We got married in November 1992, and we were married in the Malvern Gardens, to which the wedding car driver drove around for 15 minutes as I watched, thinking she's not going to get out of the car. To later find out that it is customary for the bride to be late. Meanwhile, I've had the celebrant telling me a story of her last ceremony where the bride took off with the groom's father, which made me more nervous. And quite simply, Greg says, we got married and had the best time. I think that's just beautiful. It's a beautiful beginning. And I'm proud to share this with you all. It's called Remembering. When tomorrow starts without me, and I'm not there to see, if the sun should rise and find your eyes all filled with tears for me, I wish so much you wouldn't cry the way you did today, while thinking of the many things that we didn't get to say. So when tomorrow starts without me, don't think we're far apart. For every time you think of me, I'm right here in your heart and forever in your memory. You can't ever take the memories, you can't ever take the experiences, they sit there. And where now, I can say honestly, where now tears flow freely. At a time not of our choosing, a memory will come flooding back, and there'll be a warm smile and a warmth in your heart to have been part of this fella's life. And I said earlier about Greg being part of this. These are his words to all, Greg's words to all, we've labelled it. From my heart to you all. Thank you for supporting my beautiful wife, Cherry, Christopher, Tammy, Chase and Ali. And Dr. Daniel Otnui, I don't think I pronounced Atonia, I got that wrong. Our very special caring doctor who is the best. You made my life so much better. And to all the staff at Bairnsdale Medical Centre that have been so caring, you are second to none. To Bairnsdale Hospital doctors and nurses who have looked after me and always cared about Cherry, you are such very special people. To Liz and Claire and Jade and Beck and many more, you are truly angels. With the most compassionate hearts, I thank you all. To my extended family, Adrian, Joanne, Jeffrey, Tiffany, Jenny, Tony, David and family, Catherine and family, or Cathern, typo, Catherine, and family, and Samantha and Sam and family, and Debbie and Deidre, I love you all. And the many fun times we had with you all made my life so special. Karen and Bob and family, the special and fun times you made me part of the family. I keep in my heart this from you all. The amazing love, support and friendship from Dora, a very long time friend, who always was one step ahead of me. To Dick and family, you have always been there for us all. Janet and Vic and Luke, the games of Uno, all the thoughtful gifts you got me are a treasure. Janet, two ... words. So obviously there's something got to be put in the middle there. Luke, you are one very special, Luke, where are you? You are one very special young man who always cared about me. Anita, I love the many talks we had and our laughs, always supporting Cherry and I. G-Mac and Charlene, the many fun times camping. I promise you I will take my joke book with me and make sure you're not neglected. Rod, the Battle of the Bands. And you always enjoyed my company. And we talked for hours about our guitars. George, 355, Down the front, thank you. George gave me the proper identification. B.B. King used to use one. George told me that. Greg, Darwin, and Miller. I'm missing those mud crabs and fun times. The words you had for me were so special. I'll see you next Tuesday. Would we expect anything else? Those of you who don't understand, that's good. Mark, I can never thank you enough for all that you did for Cherry, and the sneaky bourbon and occasional drinks meant so much. That was over here. Ah, good on you. Where, that was over at the hospital?
No, that was in the back shed.
That was in the back shed. Well, they're not sneaky, they're just beautiful. Well done. Rama, Gary and family, you were always there for us both. Always there reminding us that we're family. John and I thank you for taking me places. John, I thank you for taking me places and keeping me entertained. It meant so much to me, and enjoyed our long chats. To all my music friends, who I treasure and shared and had so much fun with, I will organise the eternal jam session from where I am now. And don't forget to put your name on the chalkboard. Harry, it's been fun, mate. Fergie, special times. Steve, the long talks and music and lots of good jams. I've met so many people in the music and entertainment industry who have made my life complete. I thank you all for making my life all the richer. To all my other treasured friends, the love and support has been second to none. You all have been there for Cherry and the boys and their partners. The last few years have been very magical living in Paynesville. It's been paradise. I think Greg has commented that it's the best time he's ever had. To my very special and one-of-a-kind beautiful lady, my wife, I love you more every day. You've stuck by me through thick and thin. You are one of a kind. While looking after me, you've looked after and helped so many people and always dropped everything to help. Your love, your compassion and your care for all is so special, my darling. Please don't cry. The memories that we created are so special, just like you. Our beautiful poodles made me so proud of you. Hey, that's from a bloke, isn't it? Our beautiful poodle. I know I've broken the vibe, but our beautiful poodles make me think of you, make me so proud of you. Not the fact that you've got a depth of love that will never be filled, but everything you created, Cherry. My darling Cherry, I love you. How flash is that, eh? Thank you, Greg. Thank you for sharing that with us. Our hearts are more full from hearing your words. Cherry, you're going to come up and speak? Come on.
I'm sorry everyone, but I've got a sore foot, so I'm going one-footed. I do apologise. Forgive me if I have a few hiccups in the meantime. Whoops, forgive me if I have a few hiccups in the meantime. My darling Greg, sweetheart, the love of my life, my soulmate and most of all my friend. I would like to thank you all from the bottom of my heart for everyone being here today. Greg would be so proud and feel so loved. The heartfelt phone calls and visits to our home of how you have made an impression on so many. You have touched so many lives with your love and support. I know Greg has said it before, but the love and care for him and I have been amazing from so many of the medical staff. Family and friends is truly golden, and I will always keep that in my heart forever. I thank you all. Greg, you have fought so hard to stay with us all, but it was your time. You stood by me in everything I did. You always loved and admired the achievements we did together. Of course, again, I'm going to mention you loved the poodles so dearly, and they miss their morning and afternoon cuddles. The pride you always spoke to everyone about Christopher and Chase and their achievements and their beautiful partners, you were so proud of them. The fun times we had together will always be in my heart. Your passion, all your music, your bloody cars. And life itself, you're larger than life. I could put you anywhere and you would easily strike up a conversation and become good friends in a heartbeat. You are funny, loving, and always would come up with a joke to lighten your hardest battles and times. I tried so hard to protect you and care for you, but it was time. You always said to everyone, you are not an invalid, but just invalid. Well, my darling, you were far from it. The love and compassion you showed everyone you met made them at ease. Oh.
Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to... Have you finished?
No.
No.
Wait for it.
Right.
The Ferrari we built together, mainly me, because you were not well. It has taken 2 years to build, and this week the last part has arrived. You couldn't wait for me to finish it. You loved that car so much. The frustration I had in building it, you would say, I'm going to bed, because I would curse the company that sent me the parts that wouldn't fit. I told you that you were not to get another model for me to build. You would laugh and say, you gotta love me, I'm butterfly. We had planned so much to go and travel and many more things, but it was not to be. My darling Greg, my heart is breaking. My heart eases knowing that we got a chance in the last few years to talk about our lives together. And we talked about everything, our feelings, and they were so precious. We have made so many new friends since we moved to Paynesville, and they as if we have known them for years. The family community of the fishing club is amazing, as always have opened their hearts and are having a party to celebrate your life. I know, Greg, you would be honoured, and we thank you. So, from my heart and from Greg's heart, and the boys, so I tell you, always love, forgive, and move on, and let the ones know you love them, as life is too short and they can be gone in a heartbeat. At least we got to do that. Rest easy, my Silverfox, now, with all your music idols and past friends who have gone before. What a hell of a performance you're going to have in heaven. Sweetheart, I love you and I miss you, and I thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, yes, please. Big clap.
Forgive me, I'm not one to normally do a lot of public speaking, so I wanted to have one last conversation with the old man. Wherever you are, I want you to know the impact you had on my life, my friends' lives, and my partner Ali's life. You loved your blues, you loved your rock, and you loved having a dance with anything Mum enjoyed. Because of this, you helped me direct me towards what I hold dear more than anything, and that's music, no matter the genre. although you could have given me some musical talent. Thanks for that. I grew up going to racetracks, classic car meets, anything a revhead would enjoy. I must thank you for letting this hobby turn into a passion. I'm going to miss sitting on the front porch for hours, showing you the cars I've worked on, talking about the ins and outs of them, and talking to you for a tour around Japanese car meets like Sakura Picnic. Thank you for giving my gorgeous partner, Ali, another dad. I hope you knew just how much she loved you and how much of an impact she had on your life. Most of all, I'm going to miss getting to hug you in the good times, the hard times, celebrating my achievements, losses, showing me the latest model you built, even though the wheels got a bit wonky, telling you to wipe your face, but most of all, I'm going to miss the latest bad joke you memorised. I hope you're ripping around in a hot rod with your new travelling band. I guess they needed a slide guitarist more than we, or I needed you. I love you, Dad, and I'll eternally miss you, a true berserk.
It's time for a photo presentation of this fella's life, ladies and gentlemen. Sit back, and as I said, I hope there's a photo of those flares in there. Thank you, Kel. Thank you, Suzanne. Just beautiful. Fergie, we're going to get to you. God, blokes walk in late. When our time... when our time is at an end here, ladies and gentlemen, we set our final farewells to Greg. Please, if you're able to, Jerry and Chase, love to have you down at the Painesville Fishing Club, Sunset Cove. If you're able to head down there, please do, because it'd be a sad, but it's going to be a ripper afternoon. The yarns and the memories and the bad jokes will come flowing out. So please, Sunset Cove, the Painesville Fishing Club. Now, Dick, where are you? Come on, please.
That's going to be a hard act to follow. Of all the years I've known Greg and Cherry, I would think that particularly the last 4 or 5 have been, shall we say, memorable in lots of ways. For all the people who I have known, I would say I've known Cherry and Greg for the longest. I've known a lot of other people who've come and gone. But the beauty of my friendship with Cherry and Greg is the fact that it has spread out over almost 40 years. And I've had the pleasure of their company, of their laughter, friendship, hospitality. Greg was a complex character in lots of ways, had a phenomenal memory for details about the product of Detroit. Any model that came out from roughly the 30s onwards, he'd have the details. And people who were, shall we say, fanatical with details of things like football, history and cricket and the rest of it. His penchant was motor cars. You name a car and he'd be able to give you the specs. And he's got 600 models to prove the case. I think my abiding feeling of that period, in the particularly the last 5 years or so, is that we have seen two people, a couple, who have been soulmates and who've done things together that have bonded, actually tended to strengthen that bond. They've also had their ups and downs, as most people do in married life. You'll have your ups and downs. But their bond has been tested and proved sound for so many years. And you can tell in the last 4 or 5 years when Greg's health failed. And the love that was shown between the pair of them, the give, the take. Because Gregory was not slow to say a few words if he felt that he had a case, nor for that matter, as Cherry, she's not a shrinking violet either when it comes to having her opinion. And of course, if a push come to shove, opinions would fly. But the underlying strength of the relationship is what has carried both of them through to this final situation where Greg's time came and we're all here today to pay tribute. I am very pleased to be able to say that I'll be able to call Greg my friend, and Cherry. Cherry, when I first met her, was a remarkable young lady who became one of the first projectionists here in Victoria to be officially sanctioned. It was an almost exclusive all-male club, and she once again very early in the piece, broke the boundaries and set some standards. You worked at Sunshine Driving, I think, and I came across her while doing some relief, I think, with either Essendon or Sunshine. It was a long time ago. But my point here today is to reinforce what I think most of you would know anyway, that there was a bond there and a strength and a love and a respect in that relationship that's been amply demonstrated over the years. And I simply wish to say that it's been a pleasure and an honour for me to know both Cherry and Greg, and to say, Vale, Greg, you fought the good fight, mate, but your time had come. Let's not be sad about it. You've led a good life, and he can hold his head up, as can Cherry, that they didn't let the bad things in life get them down. They both won through in the end. Thank you.
Thank you, Dick. Very, very wise words. Fergie, come on, please, come and share with us.
Can you hear me? Can you hear me? I got here late because I was actually breathalyzed at Sale. But there was 12 of them. And I only had to prove it once that I hadn't been drinking. I haven't done that for a long time. My first recollection of Greg was in the 90s when he was recognisable by his big black hat and clothing. Underneath that hat was what seemed to be a perfect flat crew cut, sticking straight up in the air in the shape of the inside of the hat. I think the first time I spoke to him was at the Manhattan Hotel in Ringwood in about 2014 when Mark and I drove down from Bairnsdale and met him up with some friends for lunch. Not sure if a band was on, but we were busy catching up with friends, so it was probably a short chat. The next time was at a music jam at the Bull Ant Brewery in Brewery, or maybe it was at the Howard Park Sunday market you had there. You had a concession. What year was that? Can't remember? Well, it had to be between 2015 and 2017. That's 16. Anyway, Cherry and Greg had moved to Bairnsdale and were living in a unit. With Greg's model cars, all his music stuff and Cherry's crafts, etc., let alone the dog or two, it was hard to swing a cat. There was no room, and then he bought a boat. Greg would show up with the Bruthen on most occasions, and I think he was instrumental in getting the Painesville Hotel jam happening, and I jammed with him on many occasions. Even after I moved, when he used to go to the Gippsland Rhythm and Blues Club and we'd moved to Druin. Sometimes he would say, he'd ring me and say, guess what I bought today? And I would ask, I don't know, what? And invariably it would be about a guitar or something along those lines. Sometimes on the way to Melbourne he would call in and Druin and have a chat after we moved there in 2015. The other day, we mentioned a couple of Steves in this prelims here. I was speaking to Steve Shields, whom I met at Margaret's daughter's wedding in 2014. He told me he went to Forest Hills Primary School and was in the same class as Greg. I said Greg had a passion for model cars, and Steve said it all started in primary school. So it was no surprise to him that he still had the passion. Steve was a big fan of Carson. As early as 1970, when we were known as Carson County Band, Steve told me that the other day that he and Greg both went to a gig at the Camberwell Civic Centre, Queen's birthday 1970. So in some ways Greg's known about me that long, but didn't come to light till about 2000 and something. I don't know, it's just this image of this man in black with a big hat, you take it off and his hair's straight up. Well, that was Greg. Anyway, it was a great gig, that one, and I would also like to mention that unbeknown to me, Greg went to Swinburne Technical College as I did, but I had left in 1963. I think he did start about 65 or something, is that right? Yeah. Another person that mentioned here and was a guy called Steve Welsh. Steve said Greg and he knocked around together from when they were about 17. I spent a day knocking around with Steve in 74 when I was in tank with him, and I barely survived that day. So I don't know how Greg kept it up. They say life goes round in circles. Steve Welsh, Steve Shields and myself are all friends of Greg's, drawn together in the love of music. Musos are a strange lot. Some of us want to be stars and make lots of money, but most of us don't achieve that goal. Greg just wanted to play. He kept hacking away, getting up and jamming and having a whale of a time. Greg, you're a champion of that. Rest in peace.
Well done, Steve. Thank you.
We're going to sit and just absolutely sit and listen, because this song that we're about to listen to, Jerry said the other day, oh, it might be a bit too passionate. Because it's George Benson singing Love Me One More Time. We're going to listen to that now. Think of this fella to whom we pay tribute today. Thank you, Cal.
You're asking me to say, living life without you, girl.
Cherry. It's as smooth as silk. Bit like your man, really. Oh, for those that didn't hear that, Greg would sing it to his beloved late at night. You can take your own slant on that. With a laugh, it's time to say farewell. It's not Greg, is it? With a laugh, it's time to say farewell to Greg, and thank you for allowing me to be part of your day. It's been an amazing feeling in this room. We've still got more to go, have we? What music are we going to play?
Whitney Houston.
Hey?
Whitney Houston.
Oh, a little bit of Whitney Houston. Do you want that as well? Yeah, come on. Come on. I thought I'd get away with it. So I rewind that until after Whitney Houston. Come on, please.
Should stay, I would only be in your way. So I'll go, but I know I'll think of you every step of the way.
Ladies and gentlemen, if you feel if you'd like to, please come forward to Greg and say your own quiet goodbye. We'll wait for condolences until our service finishes.
That is all I'm taking with me. So goodbye. Please don't cry. We both know I'm not what you need.
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. I'm pleased we did that. There's so many layers to this fella that we pay tribute today. All that I mentioned earlier. But I think the big one for Cherry is that when you find the depth of love that you and Greg had, and you hold it with both hands and it will never ever diminish, Dick reinforced that. Fergie, your music reminisces. That's what it's about too, because you musos, you give us ordinary folks the ability to lose ourselves in your music and create something that we can lose ourselves in. The model cars from primary school. But the love that Greg and Cherry had is, I think, the thing for today as we say goodbye. We wish he was still here. That's a fact. That's a yearning. That's a dream. But everything that Greg was still is. Still is. Oh, and I've got to say too, I'm sure that the few of us here that did Sunburys, there's another Sunbury. Thinking of our vintage, there's a one-day Sunbury happening. The pop festivals, for those of you who aren't sure what I'm talking about. We wish you peace, and we hope that there is, as we've said a couple of times, a big jam session going on in Helen. I mean, the likes of Bill Thorpe and Lobby Lloyd, Doc Neeson, all those people, Churl. God, there's some musos up there, and they're just the Australian ones that come straight to my mind. Renee Gayer. God, there's going to be some music making up there. I hope there is. I hope there is. We wish you well, Greg. We wish you well. Thank you for being part of us today. And if you feel that you'd like to, ladies and gentlemen, please join with me in the words of the Lord's Prayer. Our Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our trespasses, as we forgive those who trespass against us. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, the power, and the glory, forever and ever. Amen. Cherry, come up, please.
Sweetheart, you said no one would come. I've got news for you. They're here. Firstly, from my heart and my beautiful husband's heart, I cannot thank you the joy you gave him all in the last few years. The friendship, the love, memories. He always, in the last few years, spoke so highly of each and every one of you. He would say that Painsville was the best thing he's done in a long time. He was at peace. And he knew everyone's name. He was very good with that. Knew who, what, when, how. He still, up until a few months ago, even did a jam session at home. And Chase would say to him, "Hey Dad, don't get Mum to make the milkshakes, you do a better job," because of his Parkinson's, bless him. But that's what Greg was about. He had so many things thrown at him with his illness, and he always took a positive outlook. And from my heart and his heart, the compassion and the love from Bairnsdale medical staff was second to none. And you always included me. And I bless each and every one of you, as I said in my words before. Please hold the ones you love so close to yourselves, because tomorrow they could be gone, like he is. And forgive, for God's sake forgive, because life is too short. And again, from my heart, I thank you all for being here.
Well done, Sherry.
Okay. Let us now commit Greg's body for cremation, and in doing so we acknowledge that we come into this world with nothing and we depart with nothing. However, the wonder of our time on this earth is that we leave behind warm, enduring memories to mark our years and to sustain those left behind. For those of you who like Greg, may memories be your comfort. And for those of you who loved him, may you hold a sacred place in your hearts and a knowing smile on your lips. Stir them up there, Greg. Very much loved, very much missed. And now, ladies and gentlemen, a little bit of an uplifter, the Blues Brothers with Sweet Home Chicago. Thank you all so much. Painesville Fishing Club.
Sweet home. Oh, I wish everybody's got it, but that's what you want to drink. It's like good, isn't it?
Do a skate.